Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Gala. Before we jump into the price action, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications so you get kept up to date with all the latest content. In the description below, you'll also find links to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention member staff will be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff. So I'm going to go over quickly two things. I'm looking at this move in two ways. Effectively, we can argue this fifth wave completes here like this, and then we could be looking at this move as we've got it shown here with an ABC, potentially as a flat, and then looking for either a move to the upside to start from here, or alternatively another corrective leg, and then a push back down into the support zone. So this support zone is this 3391 to this 2038 area. Okay, so we're going to just discuss the two ways we're looking at it, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty stuff. Basically, this is the other way that I'm looking at it, that potentially we could have so basically this just changes the subwave division a little bit, and it would rely on having a triangle in this fourth wave here with a fifth wave up. So if this is the case, effectively, instead of starting our correction back here, we started over here, in which case we just have a three-wave move at the moment, and then we could actually look to either form another move to the upside as a B wave and push down, or alternatively, this could be a completed move to the upside as a B wave, and then we just look to push down from here. So the whole idea here is basically we're looking for that evidence of a deeper retracement here towards this 3115 to this 2078. And what we'd want to see is a deeper correction here for a potential either a B wave or a wave 2 if we're looking for a more bullish option. But basically, we are still looking for the possibility we could have a fourth in this location. So we need to just be aware that if we do start to sell off here, we could actually be looking for a fifth wave decline, which would be looking for in five-wave structure. We don't really have a good five-wave structure at the moment, but there is a way of counting it that we could get some. So we're going to discuss all these different things within the video. Okay, so let's talk about the possibility that actually we have completed into this high point here. So what I would really want to see then is I would want to see at least a move down to this previous fourth wave here at this 35.85. It would make it a lot neater. But technically speaking, I'd want to see, we could see it come down much lower, but I'd want to see at least this 36-cent range to this 31.41. That would be a decent enough retracement, though like I said, it can potentially come down lower. So the way we'd be looking at this, if I just turn this on, is I'd be looking for the possibility that we could see something like this playing out, where we have this three-wave structure here, and then we could either, like I said, we can argue this B wave is completed here, and we're going to get this direct sell-off, which would actually look to push us down towards this 33.98, which would sort of tie in with the idea of coming back in between this 36 and this 31.41. So this previous fourth wave, like I said, at this 36.11 would be quite an interesting zone to see if we get a reaction off, if we do break down there. But there are a couple of options. So really, until we actually start to break down past this low point here of 40 cent, 040343, then we need to be careful of the possibility we could see some upside, which could actually come and look to take this high. So these moves to the downside are valid for as long as we stay below this 6293. There is a way that we can actually still pass this as a three-wave move and then break down as an overshooting B wave, and then we get a flat correction. But for the most part, I can't see us getting that high yet, but we'll have to see how the waves play out. So within this structure, we've got two options. We can either say that this B wave, like I said, this B wave is either completed here and we're starting that C wave, or the B wave is still in progress. And what we'd be looking for then is the possibility that this is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to the upside. So if we can also argue that this B wave could potentially be completed here. However, it could also look to progress down one more time. So if it does complete here, what we'd be looking for is potentially a one-to-one move would actually take us to this 59.69. So that would actually be quite high in relation to some of the structure here. The 0.854, however, would be quite an interesting zone as a test of this previous high point here and some of these highs over here. So if we do get a move directly up here, that could be an interesting zone. It would also tie in quite nicely with the 786 retracement, which would be this 05724 area. So there's a little bit of confluence here between some of these zones. So if it fails here, it could mean that it's leading to a sell-off. So it'd be an interesting area to watch out on. Okay, so basically that's if looking for that sell-off, for that move directly up. It is also possible that we can argue that within this we have this as an A wave. We could be forming some kind of triangle here, A, B. We'd have to go into there potentially as a B. It would be a very small triangle. So A, B, C, D, and then potentially E, looking for a sell-off to the downside. So if we do get something like this, effectively we can't move back above this high point here of this 4939. Otherwise it would invalidate the triangle. But what we could be doing is looking for a sell-off to the downside still, and the 1-to-1 of that would actually bring us down towards this zone of this 42.49. So that's still possible. We could see this sell-off to the downside, move down here one more time for this B wave, and then actually look to push up for the C wave. If we did move down to those zones, what it would do is it would reduce that 1-to-1 level as well. So that 1-to-1 would then actually bring us up here into this 55.77 range if we went down to that level. If we came down towards that 618, it would be sort of that higher range. But yeah, 786 would put us quite nicely into this zone of this previous high. So that would be something worth keeping an eye out on. Okay, so within this is the way we are looking at it for the possibility of extending to the downside here in a three-wave move. Like I said, looking for the possibility of coming down into this yellow box area, or potentially just into this into the top end of this green box area here, this 3601 to this 3141. So bottom end of this green box area. That fourth wave, like I said, interesting zone if we break down. Okay, so the other way, it's not my most likely count, but it is still possible, so I'm going to keep an eye on it for now. If we do start to reject down much more sort of rapidly here, this 2925 will be an area we need to watch. We can potentially break this move down into a 1 as a diagonal, 2, 1, 2, and then potentially actually looking to break down for a deeper move here for this wave 3. That 2925 would be the confirmation of this though. So what we potentially want to see here, we'd want to see this move do something like this. Then we'd get a third wave down, fourth and a fifth, but it still wouldn't look to take us down deep enough if that's the case. So what would more likely happen is we would see some structure developing here, like a 1, 2, then another 1, 2, and then it would start to break down from there. So this is something just worth keeping an eye on. Like I said, it's not my primary count this anymore, but we are still looking for that possibility of a breakdown for a fifth wave. So if we do start to break down deeper here, that could actually be looking for us to come and target out and break this 1542 zone. So we just need to be aware of these things. Like I said, it's not the primary thing I'm expecting. So the other way that we can look at this is that potentially we've completed here. Like I said, even with the other move, we could still see this three-wave structure play out. It would be the same targets as we talked about in the previous move, and basically looking for this to be an A, a B, and then push down for a C. The target zone for this would be a little bit lower here, actually a little bit, yeah, it would be a little bit lower because we start over here. But the higher end of this would be this 382, which would be this 3391, the basic lower range 20 cent 38. If we start to lose this lower range, then we look for the possibility that we are actually starting for that bigger breakdown. So now we can also argue that we could have had a shallow move here. So either as a 1-2 or as an A, a B, and then we look for this bigger wave 3 to the upside. If we were looking for this from our current position, we'd have to cross this 2342 for confirmation, and then we'd be looking for that fourth and a fifth to the upside there. Potentially up to this 38 cent zone to this 28.23, but we don't have confirmation of that yet. It could also just play out of an ABC, in which case what we'd be looking for is the potential to actually only move up towards this zone of this 14.404. So that would just be an ABC pattern. However, I don't think that it would be neater for us to come down one more time here. Whether we manage to get towards the 618 and the low ranges of this, or just up to this 50% 382, it would make the move a bit neater. So I'm still looking out for that. Okay, so the potential is that we could look to push up then. So if we're looking for bullish arguments within the structure, what we would be looking for effectively is from this current location, what we'd want to see is some 5-wave structure developing to the upside. So within this, I'm going to go over as long as we actually hold this point here. So this is important within this structure if we want to look at this as a triangle. So the way I'm looking at this is it is a bit strange in its shape, but it doesn't actually break any rules. So we could argue this is a 1, 2, 3 up into this high point, and then we're developing a triangle for a fourth. It would have to be a triangle because nothing else would fit within this, because otherwise we'd cross this wave 1 high. And we can see here that we've got a 3-wave move, a 3-wave move. Potentially we are... So in this way, we would potentially have to look at either this being our C wave here, or potentially our C wave is here. And actually we've completed this triangle. We'd have to say that we had something like this play out, and the E wave was in. If that's the case, we wouldn't really want to drop below this point again, and we would want to start to move away. However, like I said, it is also possible that, you know, we're still within that C wave move, and then basically we're looking for this more sideways move within here to play out. Invalidation of this would actually come by crossing this B wave high here at this 49.40. So if we were looking at this structure, we'd want to see something like this play out, where this becomes an ABC. Then we want to see another 3-wave move to the upside, not breaking this high point, and then another 3-wave move to the downside, not breaking this low point of this 45.50 area. If we break below that, the triangle option's not valid anymore, and it's more likely that actually we're looking for either that sell-off or that potential B wave, and then that push to the upside that we went over in the previous option. So that's what we'll be looking out for here. If we do hold this triangle location, there is still a possibility to move up one more time in a 5th wave towards this 5823 to this 5495 zone. So this would be something that we could actually look to do and push up into this area. It would actually be a retest of these zones as well, which would then potentially lead to a sell-off. And what we would then be looking for is that potential to come back down in 3-wave structure and actually retest some of these zones. If we did move up into that box area, what I'd be looking for, depending, I'm actually going to go onto that high there, 50% would be back here into this zone of this 48.08. However, the lower range of this with the 786 would be 40435. That would be an area we could still move down into and not invalidate this move. Like I said, the structure isn't great within this, but it hasn't actually broken the new rules, so I am just monitoring it. What we could also see here, if we're looking at a much more impulsive move, is something like this playing out. What we have here is an additional 1, 2. So we'd have a 1, 2 here, a 1, 2, and then actually looking for a much bigger move to the upside. So this could then actually push us up into this 4th wave box area again, and potentially look to target us up to this 07611 to the 7162 area. Confirmation would only come by pushing up past this 6839, and I've taken that off. It depends where we take this off of. I've taken this off of the off of this A wave low here, but it is possible that we could still see another leg to the downside. So that, like I said, you know, we could see this as a triangle, but this triangle could also be the other way around, where this is actually an A, a B, a C, a D, and an E, and actually then we look to break down for this C wave leg. So these are all possibilities. We could then actually look to move back into this zone here and look to see if we can find some support. Potentially 702 would be above these highs, 706 would be a retest of the lows. So yeah, there's some options within there. Basically we want to see whether we get this push to the downside and this continuation up. This is a possibility. It's not, I do think that it would make more sense to come down one more time myself, but yeah, for as long as we actually hold these low points here of this 4040 area, then we can actually look for some bullish potential. Losing this 786 here at this 43.31 would make this less likely that we are actually getting these moves developing to the upside like we showed here. And you know, it is possible that we could look for this to break down if we start to lose the 786 zone. But really, until we actually cross the 4040 range, you know, we can still argue for some impulsive structure, though my preferred count is to actually come back down one more time. Whether that's looking at this as an ABC, we get a connector wave and then we push down, or alternatively looking at completing into this higher, and we're looking for that A, B, and then C to the downside. So I am anticipating a move down here. I do think we're going to revisit this 3590 zone, but we'll have to see whether we actually start to get some impulsive structure to the upside. Breaking back above this 6293 would be sort of a first indication that we could actually be looking to progress up here, but we'd have to be careful, because really until we cross this 6893 and we get this fourth wave, we don't have any confirmation. So what I mean is that this could actually still just play out as a three-wave move that breaks this high, and then all we have is a 3-3, and then what we'd be looking for ideally from then would be actually looking for a five-wave structure to play out to the downside. So then we would have a 3-3-5 as a flat correction, which would actually look to bring us back down into some of these lower zones. So this is something that could look to play out still. It gets very choppy over the weekend, so this could be something that does play out where we slowly grind around in this area, forming in this B wave, and then actually looking to sell off towards the end of the week or Monday, something like that. So yeah, it's just something we're going to keep an eye on here. If we do start to progress up, like I said though, a move past this 6893 would actually make us look for this additional fourth wave to probably come in around these top ends here, and then actually look for that additional fifth up. Okay, so just need to keep an eye on BTC and ETH. If they start dumping, then the bullish potentials start to fall away here. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss anything. In the description below, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just add mention of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. As well as that, in the description, you'll find affiliate links for both BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges in our opinion. The ones we use when we're doing our trading, so check them out. If you don't have an account and you use the affiliate link, it does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. There are deposit bonuses. More information can be found on the websites by clicking on the links down below. Everyone, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.